Hey everyone, this is Trenik and AutoML Working Group Community Meeting on 8th of January. This meeting will be recorded and published on YouTube, and this meeting is governed by the Kubeflow Code of Conduct. Welcome everyone. So first of all, I just want to say Happy New Year, everyone. I think the last year was great for us. It was a very successful year. We've done a lot of great progress, especially on the training side and all the work we've done for the V2 integrations. So I'm looking forward to work with all of you in 2025. So first of all, before we get started, do we have anyone here, new folks who just want to introduce themselves to the community? Just want to say hello.
Hello everyone, I'm Mahdi. I'm an AI student in Austria, and it's my first time, I think. No, second time I have joined this meeting. Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Matty. Thank you for
Thank
joining.
Yeah, hi, Priyansh's side. So we connected on Slack, sir. So very excited to join here. So I'm from India, so currently working as a associate data scientist. And yeah, I'm looking forward to contribute to the project. Yeah.
Thanks for joining. Nice to see you.
Hello, I'm Xingmin Du, a senior student from Shanghai Jiao Tong University, China, majoring in software engineer, and I will continue my studies as a master student in computer science. And I've worked on several projects concerned with Kubernetes, and I'm passionate about the open source projects. I will apply for this year's GSOC, and I believe joining the Kubeflow community will allow me to combine my interest in Kubernetes and cloud infra. Thank you.
That's great. Thanks for joining. Thank you.
Yeah, I can go next. I think this is my second meeting in this working group. So hello everyone, Valentina. I'm principal architect at Red Hat. I'm also part of the release team at Kubeflow, and also, yeah, if you want also to start contributing, the website is a great place. So I've been working on the website lately as well. Yeah, happy to be here. I'm based in New York. So yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Valentina. Thank you. Anyone else before we get started? All right, great. Thanks for joining again, everyone. I think it's great. I think it's again, we have a lot of good opportunities for you to contribute. Like just to let you know, like we're still working with Ramesh and other folks to see like if we can participate in GSOC 2025. But even like outside of GSOC, I strongly encourage you to like take a look at the Good First issue and try to like reach out to me if you just want to understand how to get involved in the community, because Kubeflow is a big ecosystem and there are a lot of places you can help with. I think it's a great opportunity for you to grow, especially in AI ML space. And we have a very successful year on the GSOC 2024 when some of the students became maintainers, and some of the students even presented their work in the KubeCon. So looking forward to work with all of you in 2025. Yeah, so let me just share my screen so we can get started. Yeah, so we have a few things today to discuss. First of all, I want to say before we jump to the proposal that Xiao prepared, we released 1.9.0 RC0 for training operator. So this is still in progress. So we prepared the changelog. Actually, this release has a lot of features, especially with the JAX support and with managed by for Q. So if you want to take a look at this changelog. We're still working on to see how we can group these issues, these pull requests. But the main goal is for us to release 1.9 around January timeframe, so we can remove this dependency from the master branch and start working on the 2.0 in the master branch fully, which means like we don't have any branch conflicts or any other conflicts when we're working on 2.0. And then 1.9 will be supported for quite some time, maybe even like release 1.10 if we see kind of like user requests that some features needs to be contributed. But the main goal for us is to work in V2 fully in 2025. Yeah, but this is very successful release. We have a lot of great features for, like as I mentioned, like JAX. We also have a lot of SDK improvements to improve data science experience. So if you want to take a look, just check this changelog and let me know if you need to do any other changes to group these PRs. I think like one one thing that I want to say about JAX, we need the help from the community to work on the example. So I don't know if actually Sandeepan is on the call right now. No, it doesn't seem like. So we, as I said, like we're supporting new entity called JAX job in training 1.9, and we want to contribute to one of the examples for MNIST. So the thing is, like, we really want to include this example in 1.9 branch. So if anyone in the community want to volunteer, let me know. But this is a very simple PR that we want to like, add to the release, which just show like how we can run MNIST with distributed training with JAX. So if you want to help us, let me know. And also like we want to add this to our CI/CD pipeline. So I link these two issues in our Google log. So yeah, I think like the problem is like we might want to release 1.9 next week or this week. And I don't think we have enough time to actually finish this PR before the time. So if anyone want to help us, let me know. So we can also include this in the 1.9. All right, any questions for the release?
Yeah, and Andre, since I am here, is everything then looking good? It seems in terms of the release, the future freezing is in January 20.
Okay. Yeah, I think it is fine. I think the only thing that we need to talk about, like how we can include 1.9 and 2.0 to the Kubeflow manifest. Um, yeah, so this thing, so this probably we should discuss with the working group leads.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so Valentina, can you remind me when you're planning to cut the manifest? So when the manifest testing ends?
So the future freeze is January 20. Let me say, I need to find that. I need to follow up with, yeah, let me follow up on that.
Okay. Yeah, I think by
Because I guess if we are, so if the future freeze is in January 20, we should finish like at least minimum that's by then. That's my assumption. But let me ask just in case.
right.
So is this something we need to talk with Julius then?
Yeah, I mean, like, like the first of all, we need to see like how we can cut the 2.0 release, right? Because like, so I think the goal was to release 1.9, remove 1.9 code base from master branch, and then release 2.0, maybe RC0, with all the features we want to contribute for V2, for initial version of V2. I think there are still several things we want to merge before we cut this 2.0 release. But they are mostly on the testing side. Yeah, maybe like documentation updates, but this is unrelated to the training operator repository, right?
Yeah. So do you think maybe it will be worth it to do like a meeting with Julius and you and maybe other working groups leads?
Yeah, like we also need to, yeah, I think that's right. I mean, we don't need like dedicated meeting, but I can ping him on the issue like to see what we need to do before we like before we syncing the manifest, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because you need that. Yeah. No, that's a great question. So yeah, let me ask on that. If you follow up with Julius, that's fine. Let me know.
Let me first, yeah.
For the-
I will ask like working group, like maybe UK or John or other folks like for working group training to see like when we can cut the like how we can include this 2.0 to the Kubeflow manifest. Yeah, and I will create issue for Kubeflow
Yeah,
manifest.
sounds great.
Yeah, that sounds good. Any other questions?
No, thank you. And I will try to help with the issues. I don't want to commit yet, but I will take a look.
Yeah,
I would like to help. So I need to
definitely.
balance
And
the time.
it will be like a lot of work will be required on the doc side, as I mentioned for V2. Like I can start initial documentation once we release, like 2.0. But definitely like we will need help there. Yeah, to see like what kind of documentation we want to have initially for V2.
Yeah. For sure, I can help. Also, Tarek offer to help. So yeah, let me know. Feel free to reach out.
Right.
Yeah, would love to help. The other thing is Ricardo requested as well, like he wants to know, because he will be in charge of publishing the documentation. So he wants to know if there are any major changes on the documentation, or how much are we planning on publishing. So that's something he asked to reach out to him as soon as possible.
All right, that sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
No, I'm good. I don't know from someone else, but I'm.
Yeah, I think like again, one of the pending items is like the question of whether we want to include jacks. So if not, otherwise we can just merge this PR like after we release the 1.9.0 officially. Yeah, and also we need probably some help with docs on managed by. I probably need to let me mark this. So I need to mark this mark issues that that are required. 1.9.0. Yeah, like some of the features that we contributed, we might need to update docs for them as well. All right. Yeah, February 10th, right? Thank you, Salish. So I guess by February 10th, we might need to we might need to think about how we can sync the manifest. But we still have a tracking issue to see like to create the Kubeflow manifest, to create manifest for Kubeflow Training V2, right? We just don't have them right now. The problem is how we can install job set. And the job set needs to probably support the Kubeflow system namespace. I know we've done some work there, but we just need to see how we can include this in the installation. Right. Anyway, yeah, I think we can move on then. So then I think maybe we can jump to this discussion around LLM trainer and V2. So Shao, do you want to like share your screen and just go through
Yeah,
updates?
I would stress that I can move this item to the end of the agenda, and we can discuss
Okay.
about other items now because it may take a long time.
Yeah, sure. Maybe we can quickly. I don't have like many things to discuss, but do you want to talk about Katib that you want to mention about the pattern?
Yeah. I want to talk about Katib, and I will share my screen now. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. I will first discuss about some dependency upgrade in Katib. First is a Kubernetes version. Recently, this issue marks that we should release a new version of Kubeflow 1.10. This issue, and is this 1.10 and in January 20th. Yeah, we may need to. Then I think we may need to upgrade the Kubernetes to 1.30 and 1.31. I think it's the deadline is approaching, and we can have a review about this PR, and I will raise another PR for Kubernetes 1.31 in later after this PR is gonna merge. And I think it's almost ready, just about something cutting edge versions to discuss about. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. So are we ready? So UPR, I didn't get a chance to review it, but 130.7, do we have all the end like E2Es which are complete? Like all the tests?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we may need to work on 1.31 quickly because the deadline is approaching. And then also Yuki once mentioned that we should move the upgrade kilo upgrade to an issue and raise a PR about it. Let me see it. Yeah. Please hold on. Yeah. Xingming raise the PR about it and upgrade the kilo version. And this will fix the comments
Yeah,
in this PR.
I think
Yeah,
that sounds.
please take a look if you have time. Yeah, just a reminder.
So yeah, sorry, the Kubernetes version upgrade. So we need to also have another PR for 131, right? As you said.
Yeah. And then you said that I once change the version of Kellogg in this PR. And you said that we should reverting the Kellogg version and then create a dedicated issue for the Kellogg version updating. And this PR is dedicated for version 1.30. Yeah. So I think we can merge these two. Yeah. Yeah, we can merge these two PRs together, and I can work on the 1.32 Kubernetes version, and I expected to raise the PR before the January 20th. Yeah.
Right, I think that sounds good. So do we need to merge the Klog changes first before 130 merge?
No, I would stress that we can merge it after the 1.30 got merged. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that sounds good. Yeah, so let me review this week, the 1.30 PR, and then we can just merge it.
Yeah. I think it's a bit urgent since we need to upgrade 2 versions. Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you. Definitely.
Yeah.
Is there any other pending PR issues for Katipo need to do?
If I recall correctly, there is another PR about. I think what important is the SDK test with Papermill, but it's go stale. Maybe you can merge it in the next version. Yeah, I think it's just these two or this PR or it can be merged too. And just fix a link of the document in the chain in API design.
Yeah.
This
That's correct.
3 pieces. Take a look. Yeah.
I know we also have some pending PRs from Shashank. So Shashank, I can see you on the call as well. Do you know if you can finish them by Jan 20th?
Yeah, I just updated one of my PRs yesterday. So yeah, I will be able to do that in January.
Yeah, I think that would be nice if you can finish them, so we can also merge right your GSOC work in 0.18, right, of KT release.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. So please let us know like if you need any help like in terms of review. Yeah, but there also will be a lot of docs required for your feature as well, right? Like, after we can do it after January 20th, but we need to work on this, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions for KDP release?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, go ahead, Prinash.
Yeah, actually, I just want to know like where I can start to contribute. Like, this is my first call actually. So yeah.
So I think, as I said, like again, there are several things you can take a look like on the good first issues. So one of the intermediate, like one of the help, like we need right now, it's as I mentioned, Jack's example support. So if you could take a look at this PR and see how you can update it to include this in the 1.9 release of training operator, this I think will be extremely helpful for us. Because Sandipan can work on this PR only after January 20th. So this is the one work you can help right now. Another thing, like there are a lot of around docs that we've talking about. I will try to mark this with good first issues, and you can just let me know if just ping me if you see like if you find any PR any issues you want to work on. But maybe you can start with Jax maybe and then see how we can work on other issues as well.
Can you send me that the challenge issue like?
Yeah, sure. Sounds good. I will send you these PRs. Right. So again, Shao, do we want to jump to your discussion? So I have just one more things around SDK, but maybe we can talk about after your proposal.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will show your screen. I will stop
Yeah.
my screen. Yeah.
Uh,
Go.
do you want to talk about your proposal right now?
You can talk about the SDK because
Yeah.
I think my proposal is about 30 minutes. Yeah, very long.
Okay, sounds good. So on SDK, like there are not a lot of updates. Like the only one thing that I want to mention is PyP will require soon will require for all the package name to have a valid name. So the problem is for us in training operator right now, I have this Python SDK, which let me show you. So this is the existing name of our Python SDK, which is called Kubeflow Training. And we publish this SDK to the PyP. And the problem is this is not valid name. So basically we need to use the underscore. And the thing is like, we've been discussing this a lot, but I guess like this SDK was designed to kind of provide the primary interface for data scientists to do, like Kubeflow work, we can say, right? So right now we have this, SDK for Kubeflow training. We have SDK for Kubeflow Khatib. We have KFP, like Kubeflow pipelines, right? So the thing is like what we've been talking about a little bit before is how we can unify this effort, at least maybe initially for training and tuning side of things, and provide a unified SDK for data scientists so they can do, like they can interact with Kubeflow interfaces without really understanding the Kubernetes complexities. Um, so we need to talk about whether we can, maybe use the Kubeflow name as our SDK. So, data scientists can just do pip install Kubeflow, and then they can train, tune, maybe even use model registry. I know model registry have their own SDK right now, but just we need to probably see how we can unify all this effort together to provide a single interface. Yeah, and I think like the goal is to see, okay, we have KFP, we probably also have a Kubeflow, and like folks can use all of those libraries, the Python libraries, to do their machine learning work. Um, so yeah, we need to talk about whether we, like for at least for training and tuning, like we can use this unified SDK where people can train or tune their models, or even like use fine-tuning APIs as well. Yeah, any thoughts on this? Like, they're still kind of under discussion, but I just want to see if there are any kind of perspective from the community. Yeah, go ahead, Francisco.
Yeah, I love this idea. I'm happy to hear about it. The on the Red Hat side, this is actually like a focus area for us across those specific teams that are involved. So we'd be happy to help contribute to that in a meaningful way.
Yeah, absolutely. I know like we have some discussion with with Yuan. Maybe we should even like create a new repo called Kubeflow SDK, and like develop it there. But
so what is the? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
There is still kind of under discussion. Like we can do short-term things, maybe to just focusing on training and tuning initially, and then just see how we can like add other features on top, right? Because like we have this controller, like control plane that we need to maintain APIs, like Kubernetes APIs, CRDs, right?
Right.
We have an SDK which kind of separate, like similar how you today have Codeflare, right? Like kind of like factors on top, right? This kind of similar, right? Ideas behind it. Yeah, but I think we just need to, like discuss within the community what is the goal there, right? Because yes, okay, KFP, many people interact with Kubeflow pipelines using the KFP SDK today, right? And this is like the main interface for all of them, right? And I know KFP using the API server, gRPC API server, right? So they don't directly interact with Kubernetes APIs. But here they're like, like the interfaces, they're different, right?
Right.
Yeah, so I guess like we just want to see the interest from the community first, and to see where we should go, and maybe we can start with something, and then expand it to support other features from the Kubeflow, right? Like maybe I know Feast, for example, right? You also have all your own Python SDK, right?
Right.
How we can unify all these things together, right? To simplify.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I have some thoughts about it, right? I think the like I guess off the cuff, like the short version that has like pipelines is probably the thing that like has to really do the work to unify those things, because that's that tends to be the one. So if we go with how do we enable pipeline to interact with like the training operator in a nice way and Feast in a nice way, then I think that might be easier. And maybe not. I mean, we're actually we have folks on a team that are doing demos, and we've just launched some products. This Instruct Lab that uses the Kubeflow pipelines and the Kubeflow training operator together. We don't use the SDK yet, but so we're focusing on that, and the next step is to actually improve that underlying process, because how we do it today isn't great.
Yeah, and from my perspective, I can see the clear, like collaboration between KFP and Kubeflow SDK in general, because KFP allows you to stitch all these pieces together, right?
Yeah.
And inside the, like you can use lightweight Python components where you can use this, like this SDK to create those jobs, right? Those batch jobs, basically, right? It could be training, it could be fine-tuning, it could be, like parameter optimization, AutoML, right?
Right.
But it could be within KFP. And I also I saw some demos and features on kubectl, people actually using this SDK within KFP to kick off those jobs right within the pipeline.
Correct.
Yeah, how we can visualize it, right? Because KFP kind of rely on this components-based visualization, right? But the component actually inside could have like much more complex structure. Like for example, like when we have this LLM, trainer, LLM runtimes, right? Where a job set has like an initialization step and then training step, right? Or for like API use cases when you have a launcher and the workers, right? How you can visualize it, right? Yeah, but I guess like KFP kind of like sitting on top from my perspective, and kind of stitching all these pieces together, right? When you want to have a pipeline, right?
Yeah, correct. I mean that's how we're doing, and that's how like we view, and the same thing is true for Feast as well, where it's like KFP's orchestrating Feast stuff, whatever it is, whether it's like batch jobs or uploading, materializing data to the online store. I mean, it doesn't do the online inference, obviously, right? But like it does all of the batch steps that you'd expect.
Yeah, certainly. Like like I would love to. I mean, I understand like KFP has a lot of different integrations, a lot of different components. We definitely have a like more better integration within the Kubeflow ecosystem components, right? And how we can like connect all those data sources together, right? How we can stitch them within the pipeline. As for example, like Spark plus training, right? Like how we can stitch these things together using KFP, right? And combine these two.
That's actually the demo that we're actually gonna Hellbear is gonna produce an upstream demo of exactly that. He's actually working out right now of a Spark demo via Kubeflow pipeline with Feast. And so I don't know if I think he's actually going to use the training operator potentially as well, and Kserve. So like I'll tag you on it once that's done. But that could be a starting point for us to like kick off the conversation, say, well, here's how it works today. How could we make this maybe smoother?
Yeah, absolutely. And how also like like we can, I think we talked about this yesterday, but how we can streamline the data, right? And other things from from data preparation step to your training step, right?
Right.
Yeah, certainly. I guess like there are a lot of opportunities there, and I guess like the question is like whether where all these things should live, all these batch like jobs that we kind of create from as part of your ML lifecycle. But let's definitely see. I would love to see like feedback from folks in our community to see how we can unify this effort and where training and tuning could be useful. And I see like that we also need to have like big transition on the KTIP side as well. So today we have experiment concept, but like we need to unify all this batch kind of like abstractions to kind of like follow similar patterns, right? Like, today, so I have trained jobs. Maybe we need to have a tune job, right? On the parameter optimization tasks, right? Maybe we also need to have like, NAS jobs, or when you think about like, what is the entities of the batch jobs we need to create for different stages of my life cycle. Yeah, but it's more kind of like long-term thinking, not right now. All right, any other comments, questions? Go ahead, Harshit.
Yeah, so I was working on the automating the release process for training operator. I think we talked on the Slack. So I created a PR for it, and there was, I think, another PR. So I stated the differences. I don't know if you got time to review it.
Yeah, I think this is great. Thank you so much for working on this, by the way, Harshit. I think this is amazing PR. So like what we probably want to do, and we discuss this with Yuki and Jono, we might want to implement this process for V2, giving the strict deadline for 1.9. So I know we have two different PRs. We might need to unify it to just have a single release process for V2, automated release process for V2. And if you can help us to see like, what changes is required, I think that would be great. Did you actually reach out to the other author of second PR to see how we can, like, what are the main changes there?
Yeah, I have mentioned that in Slack. I actually went through it, and all the changes I have mentioned. If you could open up the Slack.
Yep. Yeah, so let me open this issue, right? Let me make a note after this call, and I will let you know like what changes will be required. That's good.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Yeah, so let's move to the proposal then. So do you want to share your screen again so we can discuss it for the trainer?
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah. Let me introduce the proposal. Before I introduce the proposal, I would announce that I would highly recommend everyone to apply for the GSO project, since I think it's a precious journey for me to get in touch with the cloud native AI system and Kubeflow. Yeah, I'm the GSO student in the 2024, and I become a maintainer of the Katib, as Angie said. Angie said, yeah. I gain a lot from this. I gain a lot from open source and Kubeflow, and I think it will benefit your future career path in the long term if you participate in the Kubeflow. And even if you did not apply, if you even did not succeed to apply to Kubeflow, you can also work on it, because you can, although you may not succeed to apply for it, you can still gain a lot and learn a lot from this project. Yeah. Let me introduce the LLM trainer design. What's the LLM trainer? I would introduce the background to you and all of the newcomers. First, we decided to implement a custom trainer to fine-tune LLMs. This will be supported officially via training runtimes in Kubeflow upstream. And this is for version 2, training operator version 2. What is the training operator version 2? What's the difference from the version 1? I think basically, before LLM occurs, the models are light and may need different frameworks to run. You can see the CRD from the code base. You can see that in the version 1. Yeah. In the version 1, we implement a lot of the CRD for different frameworks such as MPI, PyTorch, TensorFlow, and XGBoost. But as the LM occurs, the model unified and and their architecture is almost is the same, all the transformers. Then we need to make some adjustments to the new era. So we decided to raise the training version 2. We introduced 2 abstractions. The one is the change job, and another is runtime. I will explain to you what is training runtime and what is change job. So you, via Angie and Yuki's talk in KubeCon, and I will see the slides. Yeah. What is training runtimes? Training runtime predefines some training phase about the fine-tuning process or other training process. First, we may define some machine learning configurations. This will be done by MLOps engineers, such as the num nodes and other framework specific configurations. And other configurations will be defined by the MLOps DevOps engineers, because they are more familiar with Kubernetes. And this is the shortcut of this is the short drawbacks of the ML engineers and data scientists. They may not familiar with Kubernetes configurations. So the DevOps engineers will set up the configurations in all of these in all the rest of the configurations, so that data scientists can use these configurations to easily fine-tune or train their own models, like containers. Yeah, it's predefined, and data scientists can use this CRD, and I just reference the training runtime and modify some of the parameters, such as they can switch the data sets and the model and pass in and modify some training parameters in the trainer, and the parameters in this trainer will override to the predefined training runtime, so that we can divide all those, or we can divide the phase to 3 roles: DevOps engineers, MLOps engineers, and the data scientists. I think it will be more suitable for the era. Yeah, this is the background of this proposal. Now the data scientists will create the change job, and the MLOps engineers and the DevOps engineers will create the LLM training runtimes. Yeah, training runtime, and the change job will reference ML training runtimes. And the workflow is that they will create a job set, and the job set will create a pod, and the pod will first initialize 2 containers. The one will be the dataset initializer, which will download the dataset from Hugging Face or other data source, and then the model initializers and downloads from some Hugging Face or other place to the pod, and we will mount those directories to the trainer pods. And this trainer is what I want to design. Yeah, is the LLM trainer. We will use the models and the data sets downloaded from the Hugging Face or other place, and we'll write a training script to execute the training, execute the training phase and export the fine-tuned models to the cloud storage. Yeah. That's the workflow of this process. Yeah, and then we'll go to the trainer backend. We want to support. There are 2 options I investigated into. The training backend. We have implemented a runtime plugin for the push run. It's the one option. One option is to launch the LM trainer with Torch-RON, and another option is to launch the LM trainer with the Accelerate. In the option 1, we will use the Torch-RON to launch the fine-tuning job. Yeah. I got an idea from the deep anchor Gupta, and he said that we'd better support multiple backends or some. Or in other words, we need to support multiple frameworks to fine-tune the LLMs. Yeah, such as Hugging Face, Nemo, and also some native PyTorch. In this script, we can choose the backend for the LLM fine-tuning. Yeah, we can register it to the SDK and select one framework to fine-tune the job. And the one option is Hugging Face transformers. Yeah, I think it's a really good choice for us to implement. Yeah, Hugging Face, I think it has rich inbox support for features like PEFT, FSDP, and model quantizations. And these libraries are compatible with Torch-RON CLI, so that we don't need to modify any code in the runtime plugin or other code base. We just need to write the Python script and train it. Yeah, I think it's the best option. Another option is the Torch-Tune, and Andre asked me to investigate into it in the last year. I think what is this feature for Torch-Tune? I think it's just like our LLM fine-tuner. Its core concepts, like it has two core concepts. The first is recipes, and then configs. And what is the recipes? Is just our fine-tuning script. Yeah, this is fine-tuning recipes for the for LoRa fine-tuning and on single device. Yeah. So Torch-Tune has built-in support for the they have written some recipes for fine-tune the model, and also they introduce another concept like configs. And configs is I think it's just like can be corresponded to the trainer field in the train job, because it just defines some parameters in the training. Yeah, such as models, organizers, and data sets, optimizer, a scheduler, and some other device deep types. So I think it's just conflict with our design, since our trainer just do this job. We will create the configurations for users, and we'll fine-tune the models for the users. So I think it's maybe redundant to support it, since its design logic is almost the same as ours. Yeah, it's a basic usage of the Torch-Tune, and we may need to modify the plugin for Torch-RON if we want to support the Torch-Tune, because its configuration is YAML based, and we may need to create a YAML file and load it to the config map, and mount the config map to the pod, to let the fine-tuning recipes to load these. So I think it's so it's a bit redundant from my perspective. Yeah. And then NVIDIA Nemo is to be added. I haven't investigated to it. And another option to launch the tuning jobs is the Hugging Face Accelerate. And what this launcher's feature? I think it's the most important feature is it is targeted to the junior users who are not familiar with the distributed training. I will introduce it with an example to you. And its advantage is that it has the rich inbox support for Hugging Face transformers, and it will help users set many proper default values for mixed precision training and device allocation. So that junior users don't need to configure it in their training scripts. Yeah, and they had some complex configurations like distributed training backend and variables. And this is an example for you. And accelerate and had the device for the users. Yeah, all the device related logic code can be deleted and just use this accelerate API and I launch it. And it provides an interactive terminal to let you type in some configurations, such as when you type in the accelerate config and enter, he will ask you the compute environment and the type of machine, multi-CPU or multi-GPU. And you don't need to specify which CPU you want to use. They will make it make to set the environment for you, in other words, and he will ask you about a lot of questions and then create accelerate configurations. Yeah, create the configurations in the cache directory, and you can launch these scripts with this config. So I think it's a bit. So I think it's a little like 32. They both use the gamma of configs for fine tuning. Yeah. If we decided to support it as a launcher for our fine tuning jobs, we need to implement a new runtime plugin, I think. For example, we need to do some, we need to generate a YAML file and make it as a config map and load it to the port by PVC or other things. Yeah, and also its drawbacks is that some advanced users may lose their control over the training process because they can't specify the devices and some detailed configurations about mixed precision training. Yeah, is this drawback, but I think it's a good choice if we want to let some junior users to use our products, to use our Kubeflow training version 2. Yeah, this is the back end part. Yeah. Any questions? Any questions?
Yeah, I have a few, but any questions from the community first of all? Just want to ask.
So is the plan that we want to implement both options, or do we want to go ahead with only one and stick with that?
Just to be discussed. That is to be discussed now. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So
Yeah.
from my perspective,
Yeah,
from
go.
my side, I just want to say, like, from my perspective, I think we should start with something and then see what users actually wants, right? Because I think, like,
Yeah.
Xiao mentioned about, like, users doesn't have control over training loop. Do they need control for these runtimes, right? Because, like, I mean, there are, like, we have power users and we have users who just want to experiment, right? Maybe some of the users, they don't really understand, like, what parameters, especially on distributed training perspective. I'm pretty sure many, like, data scientists, ML engineers, they're not really familiar with FSDP or DDP, and they just want to, quickly run those jobs. Yeah, defining users persona might be useful.
Okay.
Yeah. So would you suggest that we should implement both launcher or just implement push run launcher?
Yeah, I think this is what we need to talk about. I can give my perspective. Let me first of all, so Francisco, do you also have your hands up?
Yeah. So actually, I work closely with two teams at IBM and Red Hat that have implemented derivatives of actually fine tuning, and they actually implemented both. They implement both. Because they like the flexibility. So
Yeah.
and like, you know,
Yeah, that's just I think.
I think there's benefit to it,
Yeah.
but I think you could like
Agree.
implement one and make it flexible for the other, and then punt it, but like I do think
Yeah.
empirically
Maybe
use both.
yeah, maybe I can implement this and turn this option to the GSQL issue or project and let community members to implement it. Yeah.
So again, I think that for the most power users, they can always create a Docker image, right? They don't even need any of this functionality, right? They can create, like a training loop. Even they can use train API with training function, right? Because like we can give them a way to use a runtime, like just torch distributed runtime, right? Without this LLM runtime. And this runtime can be used for unique as well, right?
Yeah.
So we don't need any of this functionality at all. So this functionality, I guess, for more kind of, non-power users who want to quickly fine-tune the model. That is why like approach of TorchTune interested me, because like maybe we should just use TorchTune and use their recipes without any without giving any ability to modify these things from the user perspective. Because TorchTune, like the thing is like they already have all the recipes, right? Like what we just need to do, we just need to provide the way to configure those, YAML files via SDK, right? Those hyperparameters. And I guess like looking for the recipes, not all of those parameters needs to be changed. Like for example,
Yeah.
every config has like the model, arguments, tokenizer, checkpointer, dataset, right? Optimizer. So we can discuss what parameters we want to propagate to the user and what parameters will be just the default.
Yeah, I will introduce in the next section.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe I think we'd better we implement it by our own, not rely on TorchTune, because we may need many other configurations such as prefix tuning, adapter prompt fine tuning, and we can't rely on their TorchTune's recipes. I think it will restrict our flexibility over the fine tuning. Yeah.
But they don't support those configs for prefix and for adapter prompt?
They support LoRa, and they support yeah, LoRa quantization is something limited. Yeah, I think you can
But
check it.
Is it not enough to, like fine tune all those models that they support today? Because
Because
they
we
support.
may need other,
Yeah, go ahead, John.
So we may need other configurations because adapter prompt is not supported by the recipes in the product tune, and other prefix tuning, and many others may occur in the future. Yeah, that's my thought. Yeah.
Did you try to explore like when those configs are useful? Like for example, for Mistral or for Llama fine tuning or for Gamma, right? I can see like they have these recipes for those models, right?
We can refer to their recipes. Yeah, we can refer to them and implement our own. I think maybe it's better instead of rely on TorchTune.
Yeah, I guess like we need to understand like what is the value, like the user value for those configs, right? Like again, as I mentioned, like prefix tuner, right? Like when actually users wants to use those configs, right? Because this is like not clear to me right now. Like, is it really what users want, right?
Yeah. So do you stress that we should implement and the backend? use Fortune?
Yeah, I think not yet. I think like we need to still like get feedback from the community. Like I also like
Yeah.
I also need to I also need to take a look at this, like the transformers, right? Like the approach that you want to take, right? Using the transformer
Yeah.
statements, right?
Yeah. That's
Mm.
maybe you can store them store both of them transformers Fortune and maybe Nemo for all these
Yeah.
framework and let users choose
Uh-huh.
what to use.
And by the way,
Is it
I know,
sound good to you?
yeah, I know over time. So like just maybe like a small question on the transformer side, do you know we can still implement FSDP, DDP, right?
Yeah,
What is
a
required?
deep seat.
Yeah, good. Good.
Yeah, go ahead.
My only question, like, what is required for us to implement, like, how this DDP will work with Hugging Face transformers? Um,
It has built-in support for those features. We can just code this, and we do not need any other modifications or some plugins. We just need to import those packages, and those packages will do it for us. And the Hugging Face Accelerate is also fully compatible with Torch-Run CLI. So I think it's good to implement all of them if we have time. Yeah.
I see. Um, yeah, let's maybe definitely take a look, like, what configs are required and what limitations we have in existing libraries. Like you mentioned Accelerate, you mentioned Hugging Face, right? Sorry, you mentioned Torchtune. Like maybe understand like what actually users want and what we can do for the short term, right? Because from my perspective, Torchtune is the easiest one, right? Because we don't need to maintain,
Yeah.
right, the Docker image, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe I mean I agree with you that we will be limited in terms of ability to provide those configs, right? Um, yeah,
We
but
may raise the issue
any
to ask
yeah.
about, yeah. We may raise the issue and ask about this.
Yeah. Any other feedback from the community, like before we drop off? I think maybe we need more time to review this proposal and provide the comments there offline.
Andre, just one comment, not with regards of the proposal, but with the release that you asked earlier. Sailesh has also posted on the chat. So you were asking about the manifest things. This is in February 10, and then manifest testing February 24. So I shared the link also for the release planning on the chat. So with the release management team, and this Monday, we will be talking with Julius about how, the different products integrates within the manifest. If you want to join, or, just let me know how can it help.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Valentina. That sounds good.
Thank you so much.
All right, I think so. Again, let's post your doc to the community to ask for the feedback. I think like the next step again would be to see like how those configs could be useful, like when actually users wants to use those config, like as I mentioned, like adapter prompt, right? Prefix tuning. Maybe we can add some statements there, and just to see what we can do for the short term to the medium term, right? Because this, like, again, like we can improve it in the future, right? We can start with something, right? Like, and then, like maybe in the future support like NVIDIA NEMO, for example, right? Or even accelerate, build this plugin. Yeah, because I would love to like understand like how we can build those recipes, right? For folks who want to use Kubernetes for fine tuning, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But this
So
is
should
great.
I go on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Should
Go
I
ahead.
go on or end the share?
Yeah, sure. Let me share your doc with the Google group, and also like I will share this in Slack again, maybe in the end of this week, so we can collect some feedback from the community. And
Yeah.
then like again, we can add other statements like comparison with this configs, right? And add our discussions points in the doc as well. And let's talk about it again.
Yeah.
All right, I think this is great. Again, thanks for joining this. I think this is amazing. We definitely want to have this feature be implemented because this was one of the goals of all this, runtimes and train job separation. And providing the set of recipes for fine-tuning is actually the goal for us moving forward for in LLM ops use cases. Yeah, so this is great. Right, any last comments, questions before we drop off? Sounds great then. Thanks everyone for joining. See you in 2 weeks. Let me know if you have any questions in the Slack, and let's follow up on other to-do items in the next following weeks. All right. Thank you. See you around.
Thank you.
Thank you.